I'm live. I hope it's not too noisy. I have a fan on and it's blowing my curtain right here, and I have the AC on, and I know I have a lot of background noise right now, so I'm gonna try and speak up because it's fucking still hot. Like, I'm still hot. It's been a heat wave. And I'm not gonna stay on that long because I know I'm a bit late today. So, hi. Hi, Trey. Hi, Jules. Steve Bannon got arrested this morning. I was like, please lock this motherfucker up. Lock everybody associated with Brett Bart up, please. Send them to jail. Go to jail, please. Hi. What's up? Hi, Trey, Jules. I see you. RJ. Hi, Elevated Goddess. Armand. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Alexine. Hi, Mr. Right. Hi, No Justice, No Peace. Hi, Chariot Man Gaming. Hi, Mr. Yo King. No, I don't know if he's going to jail. I think he should go to jail. I have shorts on, as y'all can see. He got arrested. Him getting arrested is not fake news. Steve Bannon really did get arrested for motherfucking fucking money laundering and fraud because they fucking raised $25 million. Talk about something, they're gonna build a fucking wall, and then they fucking pocketed all the money and used the money to buy fucking yachts, boats, fucking luxury SUVs, fucking to get cosmetic surgery. Like, I was like, oh my god, fucking liar. I mean, obviously they're fucking liars, and a little part of me feels like that's what those people get. Because, like, why would you fucking give Steve Bannon your money? But, you know, whatever. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not saying that he's going to jail. I say he needs to go to jail. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Kendrick. Hi, Keep Making. It is a mess. Everything is a mess. Chariot Man Gaming. Hi, World Lover. Hot ain't even the word. I'm ready to throw hands over this heat. It's so hot. It's ridiculous. It's nuts. But, you know, it's August and we're in the midst of global warming. So I was just listening to something else this morning where they were talking about, you know, that they're saying that every year it's going to be hotter and hotter, obviously, and we should, like, really be prepared for, like, more heat waves and longer, right? Because we're just slowly boiling to death. Trump pardoned Susan B. Anthony. He could pardon a dead racist, but not a black person who's still alive that was wrongly convicted. Hi, By Any Means Necessary. Hi, Real Trini. But, you know, while I was listening to the radio, they also played this clip of Donald Trump saying he didn't know nothing about it. He was like, I heard that Steve Bannon got arrested and I didn't know anything about that. I remember when they were announced that they were raising money, I said, I don't think it's a good idea. And it seemed like it was just a shameless money grab. And I said that it was something that needed to be handled by the government. And I tried to tell him that. And now for it to come out that they were stealing money, I was like, you fucking liar. Like, I was like, gosh, this man can really lie. Like, the lies just roll off the tongue. I was just like, damn, like, this man can really fucking lie. Like, this man can lie. Like, he's really a pathological liar. Like, he was really just going with it and, like, just spinning the motherfucking tail. And I know it's people out there that's gonna be like, I knew Trump didn't know anything about that. Like, you really think? But this man's a liar, so. Right! The lies. I was listening to it and he was really like, you know, I tried to tell them it was a bad idea. I was like, motherfucker, you did not tell anybody it was a fucking bad idea, you fucking liar. Like, no, you didn't. You fucking liar. You just don't want to be fucking arrested next for money laundering and fraud, bitch. Hi, Mostly Mosley. Hi, Savannah. So, while I was also listening to the radio, I heard that they settled a $600 million settlement with Flint, Michigan. What's up with that? And that people are going to get individual payments, which made me think, so it's like reparations. Hi, Hush 420. Hi, Mary, Roger. Hi, Keep Making again. Hi, the boy in blue. I've been waiting for that Assata Shakur pardon for 3 presidencies. I totally believe Trump has been evading taxes, laundering Russian money, violating campaign finance laws, all of it. I don't even feel bad for the people that got. Right, it's like, why did you give Steve Bannon $25 million? Like, of course he fucking took that shit. Like, the hell are you thinking? Whatever, though. Like, I'm sure the majority of those people that gave money were people that supported Breitbart, and I feel nothing for them. Hi, Alien Baby. Hi, Mar. Hi, Start Page. All 4 were arrested Thursday and charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and money laundering. They were expected to make court appearances later in the day. And when they arrested Steve Bannon, he was on, like, a big-ass yacht. He was on, like, a 100-foot yacht in fucking Connecticut. I was like, he probably bought that shit with the stolen money. Like, oh my goodness. We'll see if they go to jail. Wow, that's good news. Talking about Flint, Valerie? Yeah. I saw the Flint ruling. I immediately thought of reparations. It should be $1 billion, but it's a start. Hi, fam, Samity Sam. Remember when Obama went to Flint, grabbed a cup of water, and said it didn't taste that bad? Hi, Chris. Hi, Kayla. Whoa, Bannon got arrested. Been cleaning out my parents' garage all day. You really can't miss a minute these days. Yes, Bannon got arrested. Steve Bannon got arrested this morning. Him and 3 other people for money laundering and fraud. They're saying they stole money. They said they were raising money. They did a crowdfunding campaign, and they said they were raising money to, like, build the wall, and they raised $25 million. And they it's just hilarious. Like, and they stole it. Because of course they stole it. Like, who is surprised? Trump Pinocchio, he should turn orange every time he lies. He does turn orange every time he lies. Have you ever seen the motherfucker not orange? I keep saying those tweets that be like, if I was on the plantation these days in this heat, I wouldn't have been able to do it. And someone came out and said today's heat is way hotter than before. Today's heat is way hotter than before, but there's plenty of people that drop dead on plantations from the heat, which I think about all the time. I think about, like, all of the Black Americans that are alive right now. Like, there's so many lineages that just don't exist anymore because, you know, they were literally beaten to death or literally worked to death. Like, work to the bone. Literally, work to the bone is literally an expression, like, from slavery, because they used to, like, work slaves until the bones literally popped out, like, of their bodies. Like, so you had people that were literally, like, worked to death, people that literally, like, dropped dead from the heat, people that literally were beaten to death, you know, murdered, all these things. For those of us that, you know, are still here, like, our lineage is like the lineage that, like, didn't drop dead from the heat, didn't die from beatings. Like, it's really, like, I really think of it as, like, a miracle that we are even here right now. Like, it's like we're really the strongest. I feel like we are the strongest lineage. I know, like, that's just how I feel. I know people don't like to hear that. Not talking about none of y'all, but that's really how I feel. Hi, Mo. Hi, Bambusa. The universe waited till you got busy to release something interesting to you. Hi, Tony. Tony, I always go live on Thursdays. I always go live Thursdays now. We do a Thursday catch-up, and then we do Bees Bake on Sundays. So, yeah. Can always find me here Thursday. There's no set time, but I'm always here. And I think I'm gonna try and, like, keep doing it as long as I can, because it's nice to be able to, like, catch up outside of, like, you know, pre-recorded videos. Another example of how easy it is for them to give out reparations, as long as they don't attach the word reparation to it. I was like, give those Black people in Flint their money. I know a Black woman financial analyst that was like, you can't undo brain damage. No, but you can run me my money. Right, like the fuck? Like, no, you can't undo brain damage, but I can fucking get the best medical care money can buy with $600 million. Hi, Marcus. Club Fed jail for Bannon. Hi, Davey. Was it really that much money? $25 million. Green with Abundance. You talk about Bannon. They raised $25 million. It was really that much. I think they said Bannon himself took like $1 million or $2 million. And I heard they were literally like, they were buying boats, they were buying cars, luxury SUVs, buying yachts, getting cosmetic surgery, getting titties done, they was just living it up, living lavish. But you know, those Breitbart readers wanted to give them that money, so you know, like stealing money, I can't stand that, just terrible. If it was me, Massa would have got a good dose of poison. I was going to say plenty of folks dropped dead from the heat and slavery. Work to high hell plus heat equals death. To be a descendant of American chattel slavery, to be DACS and alive today is a miracle. Hi, Vanity. Miracle for show. Never even thought of it like that. Jesus. That's really how I think of it, Jules. Like, there's whole lineages that just don't exist anymore. So for us to still exist, those of us that still exist, is amazing. That's why they don't want to give us our shit. Hi, Hush 420, BA gang. Yep, all those sayings. Work to the bone, work like a mule, work to the ground, etc. Work like a dog, all that shit. Oh, so this is the Flint settlement start page. The settlement will establish a court-monitored victims compensation fund that will provide direct payments to Flint residents. Right, we weren't supposed to survive. Physically, we've been through so much, but we are blessed and highly favored. What would I do if Trump got reelected? Nothing. What do you mean? Especially considering our population is amazing. Hi, Jenny Bean. Oh, I see start page. Okay, Flint. Nearly 80% of the money will go to those who are younger than 18 at the time of the crisis, according to a news release from the interim co-led class council for victims of the water crisis. I think they said that it's because, like, it's for, like, all the kids and people that suffered lead poisoning. Hi, Chassis. 600 million, but I read something about it's for those whose health was affected the most. I'm like, shouldn't it be everybody? I need my little check, whatever they got. You better sign up, whatever the thing is. I think you're young enough, Savannah, because it's been 6 years. Hi, Sabrina. Woo! Congratulations. You signed a lease? Did you get a COVID deal on a place? Yay! Hi, Mel. I think about my ancestors and why I have a board back now, because I'm sure they needed that physical element. Just finished your USPS video. Learned so much. Gonna do some more research. Thanks. Yay, Jenny. Thank you for watching. Make sure you check the description box, because there's like links and information in the description box for anybody that watches my video on the Postal Service and wants to read more about the Postal Service. Tons of information and links in the description box. They probably bought bitches too. How stupid can you be to buy all that? Sounds like some bullshit going on. Am I watching the DNC convention? No, because I'm not into bipartisan politics. I don't believe in them. So I'm not interested. I hate politicians. I was actually thinking the other day, and I might write something on this or maybe do a video on this too. I was thinking the other day that I personally think, well, you guys know that, like, how I feel about, like, all elected officials. I don't think they should be a thing anymore. But I feel like overall, honestly, I think we're coming to, like, no more elections. I think that we'll probably see the end of elections in our lifetime. Because I feel like you have generations that are coming up, especially like Gen Z and now this like new Gen Alpha or whatever, that they're not gonna, and I know a lot of y'all are Gen Z. I don't think any of you are young. No, Gen A is like brand new. So I know a lot of y'all are Gen Z, and I'm a millennial, as you guys know. But I think you have generations that are coming up that they're just not gonna understand like the concept of like I have to like go to a physical polling place and I have to like wait in this long ass line and I have to like cast a physical ballot. They're not gonna want to do that. They're not gonna understand that. Or they're not gonna fuck with the concept of like I have to like mail in, I have to like mail something via like snail mail. Like if they try to keep doing in person and like mail, I feel like every election cycle is gonna be, as the younger generations get older, I feel like every election cycle is gonna be a little bit less participation, a little bit less, because like the younger generations, they just don't, y'all don't think that way. Like your brains are different because you know, you have generations that are growing up with the internet and everything on a screen. So if they're not gonna modernize it to something where you vote on an app or on a screen, it's gonna get to the point where nobody's doing it. If it gets to the point where only 25% of the American population, 15%, 10%, 5% votes, they're gonna, like, that's not, I feel like that's not gonna be feasible. That's not gonna be feasible. And if they make moves to make it something that you vote on an app on your screen, why do we need elected officials? Like, it should just be that we vote on all the individual topics via app, something on the phone. And then I feel like then it's going to be even more of, and why do we even need elected officials? Why do we even need the Electoral College? Why do we even need, like, I really feel like, especially as these younger gens come up, there's just going to be more questioning of the systems as they are in place. And I definitely think that we're gonna see the end of shit as we know it right now. I just don't think it's feasible. I don't think it's gonna continue. As you guys have heard me also say previously, I feel like bipartisan politics doesn't work. Like we've effectively gotten rid of all the independent parties. We don't let people run third party. They have to have like a major, you know, delegation nominate them. And I just feel like that's not going to continue. Our fucking country is huge as fuck. Our demographics are only getting more fractured and diverse, and like people are not going to come, you know, oh, we're going to like all come together and like vote for one leader. Like we don't even want to do that shit now. Like it's only going to get worse and worse. I just don't think it's going to continue on this way. And then I was also, because I was just listening to the radio, I was listening to public radio a lot today. I was listening to this other thing this morning, and I heard about this book by this dude named Richard, can't think of his last name right now, that I'm definitely going to buy. I think it's called Break Up, something like that. And it's about the history of secessions in the United States. And he was like talking about the book and talking about how the United States is really not united, that the United States, since its inception, has been a country of seceding and division, starting with the Revolutionary War, which was a secessionist movement from Britain, right? And this was the part that I was like, oh, I'm buying this motherfucker's book. And I'm pretty sure he was a Caucasian too. And then he said, and we have never really come together and we've never really been united. He was like, because even after the Civil War, the way that the Civil War ended was that we were willing to make, yes, start page, break it up, yes, Richard Kreitner, yes, y'all know what I'm talking about, that's it. He was like, the only reason why we were even able to quote unquote come back together after the Civil War was because we put certain concessions in place that the North would not interfere with the modern institutions of the South. And then he was like, and that modern institution being Jim Crow. And he was like, we carried on that way from Reconstruction up until the Civil Rights Movement of the 60s. He was like, but our American politics and our country never really bounced back from secessionist ideals. He was like, and now you have people that say, well, we have to stay united at all costs. And they're willing to make especially racial compromises for that. And he was like, maybe we should not remain united if we're going to be making compromises that ultimately undermine the health of our country and our democracy just to quote unquote say we're united. Maybe we should not be united. Maybe we should not all be together. I was like, oh, this motherfucker is talking my language. Let me buy this book. I was like, let me buy this motherfucking book. I was like, what? A white person with some sense? But he's like a historian or a something. Yeah, I'm going to buy the book. Start Page posted the book. Break It Up. Valerie, I agree with this man. I agree with this man. Like, I'm about to buy this. I was listening to the radio like, oh, you talking that sense. So I got behind on the comments. Start page put it, break it up. Secession, Division, and the Secret History of America's Imperfect Union by Richard Kreitner. Because I've been thinking about this a lot as well. Like, as you guys know, like, we're just not, like, America's fucking huge. It's huge. It's too diverse. Like, we're never going to come together and agree on these are the issues because we all have different ideas on what the issues should be. Like, period. Like, full stop. And I just don't think we can continue on this way. And I think as these younger generations come up, it's just not even going to be something that their brains can even wrap themselves around. I just don't think so. Where was I? Bannon, sounds like some bullshit going on. If I'm stealing money, I'm gonna pretend like nothing changed and continue to work my job. Yeah, they bought all that shit. They bought mad shit. Black Americans are a uniquely strong ethnicity without doubt. Pressure made diamonds. Hi, Ashley. You didn't miss anything. Hi, Smiley. Hi, Ori. It's an act of revolution to be a descendant of American chattel slavery. Oh, no, I didn't hear that, Peachy. That's horrible. Trump has to send Bannon to jail at this late campaign stage. Makes me think the DOJ executed the timing on purpose. I was in high school through the whole crisis. Oh, you left Flint, Savannah? I don't think you have to live there to get the money. I'm just saying, I know you're young enough to qualify if it's 18 and under. Thank you. Your USPS piece was A1. I've been working on it for so long. And the Postal Service really has this like history. And I personally feel that a huge part of this effort to dismantle the Postal Service is racial. I feel like it was really kicked up once this like racial uprising occurred. And I feel like, you know, like everybody's talking about voter suppression, which is fine. But I think that people are not understanding like the racial dynamics as well as the Postal Service. Like 80-90% of the male characters and like a lot of major cities are black, like Chicago, like, and especially places that have been seeing these uprisings, and like cutting off the Postal Service is cutting off a lifeline. I don't think that's a coincidence, and I feel like not enough people know the racial history of the post office or are making that connection. You know, I don't think it's only voter suppression. Like, I think this is like a concentrated effort to like dismantle the public, something that works for the public good, dismantle something that obviously allows people to vote, but also to dismantle something that is like a huge lifeline in the Black American community. I think it's like I think it's being done on purpose. And it was like people really didn't give a fuck until like the voter suppression element came out. People were sounding the alarm like 5-6 months ago, like this is gonna really fuck up Black Americans. And it's just like shit's gonna fuck us up and people don't care. Michelle Obama said she hated politics during her DNC speech. My grandmother is the district manager for the East Coast USPS, worked until she was 63. Now she's in the hospital with COVID. Pray they don't cut anything from her benefits. Oh man, I'll keep your grandmother in my thoughts, AJ. Dr. Joy DeGride talks about how we carry the physical trauma that our ancestors endured. Yup, post-traumatic slave syndrome. Voting feels so dated. The history of the USPS I was totally not aware of. Thanks for that video. Thank you to everybody that watched that. I've seen black mailmen my entire life. USPS is so important for Black Americans. A lot of systems we use are archaic. Hi, Chrislyn. We need to be able to vote individually on policies. Politics is so depressing. I hate the voting system. It's trash. You thought I was Gen Z? No. I'm a younger millennial. As a Gen Z, I totally agree. Oh, Kendrick posted, text USPS to 50409 to have a letter sent to your senator and rep on your behalf in support of USPS. This does work. I did it a few months ago. I think we're seeing the end of the Democratic Party right now. It's on its last legs. Oh, really, Jules? Bipartisan politics doesn't work. Capitalism doesn't work. This shit doesn't work. Nothing works. We can't even accept the two major parties. They don't have Black American values as a top 10 on either of their platforms. Right, that's how I feel. Like, no, I'm not watching the DNC. Like, no, I'm not gonna fucking... I feel like regardless of the outcome, like... I feel like politics is over. I really feel like politics as we know it is over. Because just like I said on my video when they announced that Kamala Harris was the pick, I was like, it seems like it's becoming a reoccurring theme that every year the American people are asked to make, you know, the lesser of two evils choice, the rock and a hard place choice. Is that how politics are supposed to work? Like, politicians are fucking corrupt. Like, politics as we know it, like, it's too influenced by capitalism. Like, we're living in a huge country that was founded on secessionist ideals. It was never really united, and it's only getting worse and worse and more fractured as our demographic changes. And now we have the technology, like everything is so archaic. These like younger generations aren't with it. Like, I feel like everything's gonna change within our lifetime. Everything's gonna change. I really think that. I would love to see it. The people in power won't allow that. That's why the Electoral College still stands. I think Gen Z is very radical. But will it stay, or will they backslide into conservatism? The reason why I think it's going to stay is because Gen Z and this new Gen Alpha, they're being raised, like, they're being raised on social media. And they're being raised on apps, and they're being raised on screens. I genuinely do not think they're going to vote by mail or vote physically in the future. I just don't think it's something that they're just not going to understand the purpose of that. And once we start making those technological shifts to voting on your phone and voting through apps, it's going to get even louder, this question of why do we even have elected officials? If we can all vote individually with ease on our phone, why don't we just all vote on all the policy issues individually, and we just like all make the decision for ourselves, and whatever gets the most votes wins. And when it comes to elected officials, you guys know that I think we should switch to a lottery system where people are picked at random, like jury duty. You come in, you serve your little term, and you leave, if we're going to have elected officials. Anything other than that, I think is undemocratic, personally. Yay! We're trying to set up another one, Jenny Bean, me and Global Black Girl. We're trying to set up some more stuff. And there we are, Break It Up, Secession, Division, and the Secret History of America's Imperfect Union by Richard Kreitner. We could still elect officials to serve as the arbiters of what topics get voted on, even if remotely. If stuff is online with no one to organize it, there will be 50 million opinions, said Ori. We also need to abolish the Electoral College. Every vote should count, said Trey. And it's funny because that book by Richard Kreitner, he also talked a bit about the Electoral College as well. And he talked about how he also talked about how we need to get rid of the Electoral College. He said we should get rid of the Electoral College, and we should also get rid of the Senate. He was like, it makes no sense. Why does Wyoming have the same number of senators too as California? He was like, which has 68 times the population. 68 times the population, and yet they have the same number of senators. They have the same amount of influence in the Senate. He was like, we need to like abolish or change the Senate and abolish or change the Electoral College so that it's more fair in terms of population based. And I was like, man, who is this white man? I never heard a white man talking like this. This sounds I was like, are we sure he's white? Like, I wasn't sure. I Googled. I feel like we're seeing the end of democracy right now. I think Gen Z is really good at quick to act actions. They can make a story go viral fast and get the attention they need. Oh, he did? Richard Kreitner wrote a great piece on coronavirus early on during this. Hi, Corey. Hi, Vermilion Dynamo. I'm saying, a white person with some sense. Hi, Corey. Thank you for your service during the pandemic. He's born in Queens and grew up in Wayne, New Jersey, and studied philosophy. Oh, that's interesting. Man, philosophers don't get their respect. I really feel like, because I kind of think of myself as a philosopher, I sometimes wish like we could go back to like, you know, when philosophers had like patronage And like, you know, you just get paid to think about ideas, because I feel like we don't have enough people that like think about, like, seriously think, you know, like critical thinking as a profession. You guys know I've been really into Helen Landemore, who's a philosopher as well. I feel like we don't have enough philosophers that think as a profession and, you know, think of new ways that we can move forward as a society, even though things are changing so rapidly, because you can't make any money. Like, how do you make money as a philosopher, right? The fact that you get 10 years for weed in Alabama to this day, but there's dispensaries in multiple states, everything needs to change. I've been saying, this is Brandon. Hi, Brandon. Been saying America needs to be broken up into 3 or 4 smaller countries or provinces or whatever. I think we should do maybe city-states. Provinces might work too. But all this, like, we have to be united, it doesn't work. And it really never did historically. This bipartisan system sucks. Nothing gets done. They just argue and posture and keep things from moving along. That's why we don't have another stimulus check right now. Right, but meanwhile, they get to take a month off. They're back now, I think, because they, like, came back emergency meeting because they have to get the fucking postmaster out of here. But it's like, but they get to take a month off in August and chill because they're paid. They get paid regardless, right? Meanwhile, people are fucking starving to death out here in the middle of a fucking heat wave. They chilling. That doesn't seem right. And that's how I feel about politics, politicians, lobbyists, like, all these motherfuckers. Like, why do they get to be motherfucking chilling? I really think it should be, like, jury duty. Like, picked at random, and you rotate in and out. Def gonna check it. His essay in The Nation was one of the only times I felt slightly convinced on the idea. America really needs to have an EU situation going on with different countries. It's just too much. Love. Oh, thank you. Thank you, WowVids. The EU is a mess to itself. It's a miracle it lasted this long. Real Trini. Lots of black folks work at the post office. My aunt, my mom, aunts, grandma, and 3 of my grandma's sisters all work for USPS. My older brother works in the Postal Service, and that's how he's been able to provide for his family thus far. 18, yeah. When I heard about the privatization of the Postal Service, my first thoughts were on its racial impact. Thank you, Nicole. Hi, Minako. The racial element can't be ignored. I've been worried about the mailing system since about April, initially because I was worried about voter suppression. Making voting more accessible is big for me. Yeah. It's very deliberate. Michelle Obama saying she hated politics during her speech made no sense. She centered her entire life around Obama's political career, and she's out here making political speeches. I'm not watching, but from what I saw people say about it, it seemed like people were taking it as her saying that, you know, like, oh, I don't like politics, like, everything is overly politicized. You know, like what we were just talking about, you know, like, the Senate gets to argue politics while real people suffer. Maybe rhetoric. Like, I think the point is supposed to be that she doesn't like rhetoric. But it is ridiculous to be at the Democratic National Convention and be the former First Lady of the United States and say you don't like politics. Like, it does seem weird statement. The Democratic Party is a whole circus. This country will stay quiet about inequalities until it affects them in some way, until it means a loss or stress for them, which is a capitalistic mindset, which is also low-key how I feel about this election. I feel like black Americans, you know, descendants of American chattel slavery, have been in a hole for a while. But since we're seen as a permanent underclass in this country, you know, as some type of permanent lower caste system, people didn't really care. But now that, you know, more people are starting to feel it with our current administration, with coronavirus, with all these different things, now more people are starting to feel it. And so now it's this like big thing of like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? I feel like that's historically the way that things go. So it's kind of like, oh, it's perfectly fine for like our black American world to fucking go to shit. But once it seems like the whole country's going to shit or the whole world is going to shit, then it becomes a problem. But like, we're supposed to stay down in the shit. Like, we're supposed to stay down in the mud. Like, nah, like, no. if we're gonna be down in the mud, everybody might as well come along with us. That's really how I feel. Like, we all in it together, right? That's what y'all love saying. We all in it together. I was just telling my boyfriend today, I'm so tired of this back and forth between the same two parties. It's redundant and unproductive. I'm switching from Democrat to independent. The party doesn't reflect my values. All of my male people are black and I actually know their names. Hashtag politics is over party. And yeah, like you guys know, like I feel like the whole shit has to go. Super chat, thank you. I remember in high school how often the sentiment for black Americans was that after high school, if you didn't have money for college, you got a government job and you could support yourself. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the GOP is on its last leg as well. I'm telling y'all, like, politics and elections and all this shit as we know it, I feel like it's going out. It's on its last legs. It's going out. There's this sentiment that young people are apathetic. I'm so serious, y'all. I really think we're going to see the end of elections as we know them in our lifetime. I really fully 100% like believe this. Like, it's going to change. It's going to turn into something else. It can't continue on this way. There's this sentiment that young people are apathetic but really we don't vote because the process isn't taught. It's not fair and it could be confusing. I agree. What the fuck is this needless compromise we keep being forced to make? The Dems and Republicans are giving the UPS a stimulus package. They'll be okay. But the American people still haven't gotten the second stimulus check. What about all the people getting evicted and hungry? After seeing how the DNC is refusing to learn from their mistakes, I'm pushing more towards the independent party. I had hoped the GOP would have died and branched to something new so that maybe it wouldn't be so drastic to not vote Dem so they do better, but nope. Voting is canceled. It has to go. As someone who identifies as an abolitionist and as Gen Z, I'm divesting from elections because it's a form of protest, withholding votes. Abstaining, yeah, abstaining. Abstaining from voting is considered a form of anarchy. That is democratic. Democratic Party is made of young millennials who are being forced into voting Dem out of a last resort. Lottery elections would be truly democratic and the least biased possible and makes the most possible sense. One or two humans cannot represent an entire state and how their citizens think. Right. Young people also have more life instability and less leisure time and fewer stable jobs than older generations, so it's hard to get to the polls. Right, election day isn't even a holiday, nothing. The process needs to be modernized. These so-called leaders are a joke. The electoral system was based on landowners, so it was flawed from the jump. My coworkers are all conservative as fuck. I have to stay clear of certain convos. Oh, damn, Mel. Why do we even have two legislative bodies in the federal government? It was supposed to be, all of this shit goes back to what was considered the original checks and balances system, which was supposed to be that no one branch of Congress, no one branch of the government, and no one branch of the voting bloc gets too much power. But, like, really that boils down to, like, those niggers. We don't want those niggers to have too much power. Because, like, black Americans outnumbered white people in the South by a lot. And then you had the majority of the people that were living in the cities, you know, they were just like, we don't want people that aren't into slavery to have too much power. Like, we're not with it. So we need a system of checks and balances to make sure that power doesn't get concentrated. You're taught, the way that we're taught it, the way that I was taught it in school was, you know, oh, we need a concentration of power to make sure that there's like never too much power in any one individual place. But they leave out that the motherfucking shit had to do with slavery. I don't know if I could handle being chosen to lead through a lottery. I do want to do a lot of good and I would listen to actual experts, but I feel like I'll fail and ruin lives. You know, I get that, Nicole. I totally get that. I think the interesting thing to me about that is I feel like no one can be worse than our current president. Like, do you think you'd be worse than our current president that we have now? I feel like obviously there's no skill involved. Like, why not pick motherfuckers at random? I feel like that would be the most fair way. Like, why the fuck not? I don't believe in abolishing the Senate, but we definitely need to adjust it. But killing the system of checks and balances is a no-go, said Ori. DC also deserves representation in the Senate. Taxation without representation. We're taxed like a state. We pay state taxes, but we have no representation in the Senate. We do not have a senator because technically we're not a state. Like, our whole shit is fucked up because it's not representative of the United States as it is now. With the population that it has now, the way that the cities are set up, like, the shit is set up exactly the same as it was, you know, fucking centuries ago. Like, and people really, but you know what's wild? There's really people that you will meet that really, truly, wholeheartedly believe, like, that Hamilton shit. Like, they really believe, like, our founding fathers were great men and they were great people and they knew what they were doing and we have to stick by these ideas. And it's just like, motherfucking Thomas Jefferson wrote about freedom and liberty as a whole rapist slave owner. Like, I don't, you know, like, they weren't good people. Like, I don't know. Like, American exceptionalism is really a thing. Like, American exceptionalism is really a thing. Hi, Richie. Romanticism at its best. Where was I? Where was I? There. Coworkers are conservative. Gotta stay away from certain conversations. I have on my Justice League shirt today. DC deserves representation in the Senate. Critical thinking nowadays is definitely in short supply. You think about philosophers and patronage every day, Mary? Yes, when philosophers had real social and cultural agency, we need to go back to that. Nicole said, can someone put the USPS texting thing one more time, if anyone can do it? I did a big project on the patronage system in college. Oh, there, Vermillion put it, USPS to 50409. Philosophy and sociologists don't get enough credit and respect. I agree on philosophers, but we got to be careful because in the U.S. it's hella white. Yeah, I mean, and that's a huge part of it too. Philosophy, sociology, anthropology are overwhelmingly white and very colonizer mindset, like research methods and ideology. We also need to get more black people and especially black Americans into these fields. Like, seriously. Black folks need our own big state. I agree the Electoral College will work better if each state's votes were divided proportionately instead of winner gets all. Hi. 2021 is going to be another rude awakening. People are sick of it. The different responses to COVID by region shows that ultimately we can't be united. If we do randomize it like jury duty, we'd have to also address the issues with the way jury selection works because even that has racial biases and inequities in it. Totally agree with you. Totally agree, Vermillion Dynamo. Marcy, you don't have the Discord link? Leave a comment, not in the chat. Leave a comment after the video is over and I'll give you the link, Marcy. Oh yeah, the boy in blue put it. Leave a comment for Seren when she posts this live and she'll send you a link. The DNC was a mess, terrible morale. When my cousin was lost in life, not feeling college anymore, and their mother dying, to support themselves, they worked at the Postal Service until they found purpose and joy again. Every state is its own country to me. We're living in the last empire. Get ready. Keep seeking accurate knowledge of truths. I took Michelle's speech as hating politics doesn't make them go away. Hi, Ollie Oxenfree. Someone said politicians literally have socialism for themselves, a month off in the summer, free healthcare, etc., and no one else does, and they're completely in denial about it. Yes, it's true. I've seen that before, Ollie Oxenfree as well. That's been something that a lot of people have been saying, that there's a lot of industries that practice socialism, and it works just fine. They just don't want it for the fucking general public. Akon said that black Americans, descendants of American chattel slavery, need to get over slavery. He said we need to get over slavery, and that's what's holding us back, you know? Like a whole Pharrell, you know, the new Negro doesn't fucking acknowledge slavery and race because that shit holds Negroes back type shit. Fuck him. TJ Hannah, thank you. You did super chat. Thank you for bringing up the historical black employment of the Postal Service and the need of stability. Black Americans are canaries in the coal mine. That statement drives me insane. We're in this together. Akon had the audacity to tell black Americans to get over slavery, but is he telling his fellow Africans to get over colonization? Hi, Kimberly Frazier, you're fine. Savannah, I don't have no party. I don't join gangs. You're funny. We can't keep going as we have. I agree it will change in form. Thank you, Real Trinity. The only thing hindering the black American... blah, 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 blah. Oh, Ori, you just did super chat. Thank you. Thank you. The only thing... And I just got to your comment, Ori. The only thing hindering the... If BA is going to be in the shit, we could all be in it attitude is the fact that even when everyone suffers, we'll suffer worse. That's true, too. It's fair. We are evolving. The system needs to evolve and or be dismantled and a new one put in its place. How long will we continue to rely on human rulership? We see in other countries, people are protesting against their government and the boards are resigning. Oh my God, and I was also just reading this fucking scary, terrifying fucking article about Quayside, which was the fucking Google city they were trying to build in Canada, and Trudeau was all motherfucking buddy-buddy with Google, and they try to fake like other Canadian companies were gonna have the opportunity to like build on this, bid on this smart city they were trying to build, but really the whole thing was a fucking sham. And Trudeau was in the pocket of Google, and he tried to give Google this exclusive contract to build this city in fucking Canada that was gonna be like a fucking surveillance smart city with fucking sensors and shit everywhere, fucking tracking what everyone in the fucking city was doing at all times and feeding all this data and all this information to Google. And then they were like, we're gonna use that to make the city even better. And then the privacy advocates like me, the privacy motherfuckers was like, but what are you going to do with all this information that you have on these private citizens? Like, are you going to sell it? Like, are you going to monetize it? Like, what are you going to do with it? And then they were like, oh, we'll figure it out when we get there. No, the fuck you won't. No, you won't. And they fucking denied that shit. The fucking people made a big fuss and said no. And it got fucking denied and canceled. I don't know. Gop was on the verge. Quayside. I might do a video on that shit too, cause I'm still working on my fucking surveillance video, just like my fucking USPS video. My USPS video, I've been planning and working on that video since the beginning of quarantine. That one, you guys know, and my surveillance video. And it's just like every time I turn around, TikTok is motherfucking surveilling people. They're trying to build a whole motherfucking surveillance town. It's like every time I try to make my video on surveillance, it gets worse. This is why fucking before, when I first started doing YouTube, I used to have like 5 parts of a video. I used to be like, hey guys, I'm back. The motherfucking plot thickened. Some more shit happened. Which topics, Gigi? To keep the peace, I don't tell a lot of my family how I really feel about the DNC and Biden and Harris. Yeah. Because a lot of the older folks are vote blue no matter who, and that any criticism is blasphemy. Yeah, and this is another part of, again, why I feel like politics and shit as we know it is coming to an end. Because the newer generations, we don't think like that. We do not think that way. We're not just going to blindly fucking say yes to anybody because of reasons. Like, no. Like, no. That's gone. We don't do that shit no more. Election Day isn't a holiday, but Columbus Day still exists. You can't make this shit up. There were major circumstantial influences on the formation of our country, but we just learned the Enlightenment philosophy influences. Sortition is the original democracy. People like to leave out the 3/5 compromise when talking about political representation. The people we already have are ruining lives, but they don't feel bad about it. Right, like, who could be worse? Like, we might as well, like, Nicole, if you ruin lives, at least you'd feel bad and try to fix it. These motherfuckers is out here, you know, stealing $25 million, living it up on yachts and shit. 2020 old ways will die. They really believe all the revisionist history that's taught in schools. Oh, you want to say something about Muriel Bowser? Say something about her annoying ass. I can't stand her ass. The irony of Akon saying that when slavery is still happening on the continent. Right. He needs to redirect his energy. President Nicole is going to tax billionaires to get free healthcare and education. President Nicole 2030. If I get elected, BA is going up. I'm always here for some Hamilton hate. Hamel hate? Is that what they call it? Latafita? Hamel hate? American exceptionalism is collective brainwashing. President Nicole is also going to give Flint some clean water. People could be mad at the folks not voting and voting down ballot or voting for the Green Party all they want, but everyone's vote is their own. The founding fathers didn't even have toilet paper when they signed that fucking parchment. Right, Ori. Motherfuckers didn't even have indoor plumbing when they signed the shit. Motherfuckers was in there with all motherfucking broke down, fucking no teeth and shit. Fucking George Washington. George Washington wasn't there, but like George Washington, who they fucking taught us all these lies about, he had wooden teeth. That motherfucker had the teeth of his slaves in his mouth. Did you guys know this? Have you guys heard about, oh, George Washington and his wooden teeth? You know, ha ha ha. His teeth rotted out his mouth, so he had fucking wooden ones, the first dentures. No, that's actual bullshit. They ripped the teeth out of slaves and put the fucking teeth in this man's mouth. Like, excuse me if I don't fucking worship these fucking documents and shit and these ideas that these motherfuckers signed and came up with, you know? Like, we can change some shit. President Nicole is going to make it illegal for history textbooks to lie and hide racism. AJ 2002, I'm voting for you, Nicole. You got my vote. What would our state be called? Our Black American state? What would our state be called, y'all? Hi, J Malik. Yes, I love philosophy. I would also consider you a philosopher. Thank you, Mary. Hi, Diego. Zora Neale Hurston was one of the greatest anthropologists. And Zora Neale Hurston said all skin folk ain't kinfolk, and you can't ride with a motherfucker just because they black. Because Zora Neale Hurston was an anthropologist that understood people. I want to see more Black Americans in anthropology to document our history and fix the erasure of Black Americans. I remember when Azalea Banks was talking about how California was going to leave the Union. I wasn't mad at that thought. I feel like due to capitalism, people don't have resources to survive. The people who have paradigm shifting ideas, the philosophers can't even fully think about it at all if they are working. We really do have a document written by men who smell like straight shit when they wrote it. Akon needs to shut the fuck up and stay in his lane. Okay, Mary, you leave a comment too. Oh, you didn't get it, Ollie? Oh, okay. Slavery isn't currently holding me back. Systemic racism and capitalism are. Hi, Domino. Akon is in cahoots with the Asians that are colonizing his own people. He really can't say shit. More people need to get in the abolish mindset. Akon can go stand in the corner with Pharrell and Common for this forgive and forget trash. We're living in an episode of Black Mirror. Don't worry about all that. President Nicole is making the KKK #1 local terrorist group. All members will be treated with extreme prejudice. Oh, near Quayside, Mel? You used to work over there? I used to work beside where they were going to build the surveillance community. People were trying to get on the list to live there. That's the plot of Watch Dogs. Like Watch Dogs in real life. Now I really hate Bezos. What kind of supervillain-ish is that? Quayside, if any of you guys want to Google it now or after this is over. Quayside. Akon is being financed by the Chinese. He needs to stop. Oh, look, Valerie just recommended another book. Shoshana Zuboff has a book on surveillance capitalism while we're at it. Well, let me screenshot that. Screenshot. Shea Moisture series. That's the old throwback. The Shea Moisture series is like, that shit is like 7 videos over the course of 3 years. Like, y'all, Shea Moisture ain't shit. Shea Moisture ain't shit. Shea Moisture ain't shit. It's been 3 years. They don't want your money. Oh, my Cash App. My Cash App is what is it? $, capital SEREN, capital SENSEI, Seren Sensei. So it's the $, Seren Sensei for my Cash App. Thank you, Brandon. These narratives be changing and exploding real quick. It's day to day now. Let's see. My parents always vote blue. I had to school them. The Shea Moisture series is iconic. Thank you, Deb. Deb the Wise posted the super chat, the Cash App there. Yeah, Bezos has more info on all of us than Google does. Google uses Amazon hosted sites and servers. Google is like the tip of the iceberg, and Amazon is that huge mountain of ice underneath. My grandma's a whole Republican. I stopped talking politics around her. Jesus and the Republicans got her mind warped. I've seen this too. I've seen this linking of like religion, which is really weird. It's like if you don't vote Republican, you're voting for the Antichrist, which is like, okay. The fact that they thought they were going to get away with stealing all that money is hilarious. Right? Hamill hate, Mo. I like it. If I get elected, I will eliminate the mumbo sauce tax. Yes. Oh, y'all didn't know that about George Washington? That he had a mouthful of slave teeth? Sure did. Please Google it. I'm sick. They're on display at Francis Tavern. Yep, they're on display. Slave teeth! I hate that the cast of Hamilton are all POC. I would never let my niece and nephew watch it for that reason. Like, it feels like revisionist history, doesn't it? Like, I kind of understand the point of it, like what the idea was, but no. Rip the teeth out with no anesthesia, by the way. Yup. Yes, Corey, he used slave teeth. As a kid, I used to be so proud that I had the same birth month as George Washington. Now I'm older. Can't believe how brainwashed and misguided I was. We're literally brainwashed in school as children. Like, it's actual brainwashing and propaganda that occurs. For real. Our state would be called Ebony Vibe or Essence. You could get a travel visa, Sabrina. Name the state. Obsidian. Oh, Obsidian would be a good name. That's an interesting name. Hi, Camp Powhatan. Akon is the new black. New Obsidian. That's an interesting name. Davey said Black Nexus. These are some interesting names. I remember we talked about all skin folk during our Black Americans episode. The timer for, we'll do a couple more minutes and then we'll end. I like New Obsidian too. Ali Oxenfree, that's a good one. I don't know if you guys heard my timer, but I set a timer. Ha! Destiny's Children! I hate you. George Washington gave a famous speech there where the teeth are displayed. It's the oldest building in that city and a museum. George Washington gave a famous speech there and the teeth are there. United Blacks of Democracy, UBD. Who said Ebony Colony? Colony took me out. The Akon Light in Africa movement was actually China Light in Africa with Akon as the face of the movement. They funded everything. He needs to stop. Ebonia. Said Ori. I thought it was so weird people were dying to live in Google Homes. That settles it. I'm writing Nicole in on the ballot. I kind of like United Black Stars. United Black Stars? Would that be UBS? I hit the wrong button. My bad. Hi, Xavier. President Nicole is also cutting the BS, making PR the 51st state. No, make DC the 51st state. And then PR could be the 52nd state. Y'all see that Burna Boy dude shaded Beyonce too. I love my B, but she gonna learn. I said how I feel about this whole Pan-African thing Beyonce's doing. It's not really the wave, you know. She's older and I get why she's doing it. She probably really thinks she's doing something like, but like, girl, they don't want you. They don't want you. They don't want you. They don't want you. We really need more Black American historians. Remember when whites also used to call Obama the Antichrist? Life comes at you fast. Slave teeth. Damn, we can't have shit. Francesca, we can't even have our own teeth. We can't even have our own teeth in our mouths. Saying the pledge every morning is conditioning. I could just really imagine George Washington being like, them some nice teeth that nigger got. Let's pull those out. We want those. Burna Boy sat up with a whole song on Beyonce's album, but turned right around and threw Beyonce under the bus. Like, they're using her to elevate their own platform, and she's allowing herself to be used because I feel like she really thinks, like, you know, she has some type of duty to do this. How old isn't she, like 38 or something? Like, I just think she's not in the right mindset. My dad is 74 and watches Fox News all day long while being an immigrant himself, born in Jamaica. He's a mess. Just like what we were just talking about with Beyonce. Like, people need to learn. I'm going to be reviewing Lovecraft Country, just like how I did Watchmen. Reviews on the Saturday before the new episode. So the first episode of Lovecraft Country came out this past Sunday. So the review will be going up this Saturday. And then the new episode will be on Sunday. I will be reviewing Lovecraft Country. I did watch the first episode. I will be reviewing it. I did do the census. Yes. Where Obsidian gives me Black futuristic teas. Beyonce seems real out of touch. Still love her though. I think Beyonce took a step back from Lemonade with Black is King. Like a step backwards, like regressing. B is 38. I thought so. Yeah. I hope her next phase will let them rot. Elo. Beyonce has been out of touch. Yeah, I think she's out of touch. She's out of touch. She should have stayed out of their business. Hopefully she knows now that Pan-Africanism isn't the wave. I hope so. I hope so. Oh, we're not human. We're inferior and all that. But you could rape us and put our teeth in your mouth. Make it make sense. This is what I'm saying. Like, they knew. Like, all this talk like as if we're not human. They knew. They knew exactly what they were doing. Beyonce been 36 for 3 years. I love her, but I peeped them not changing her age in Google. Love Beyonce, but lately I can't with the material. She needs to reach out to Solange more often. Hi, Vans! Vans, we're almost at the end. No! This album has been a flop for her, too. Every time Beyonce does something that's not like, you know, her experience, I feel like it flops. That's really how I feel. Like, when she's doing, like, starting with self-titled, when she's doing her experience and, like, this is me, like, this is my life, and, like, this is my personality, these are my influences, these are the things I like, you know, it's critically received, it sells, people love it, it's so amazing. And then, like, her self-titled, it happened. Lemonade, it happened. Homecoming, it happened. Like, people are loving it, you know, and it's like, yes, and, like, Houston, and it even seems like for her, personally, it hits different, you know, like, Something about the energy that she puts into those projects seems different than these other projects that seem like they're projects that she feels like she has to do. I feel like she feels like these are projects that she has to do because she has this huge platform and she's black. So she feels like I have to like do this like Africa, Pan-African shit. And it's like, no, you don't have to do that. Like, bitch, you black American from Houston. Like, that's it, bitch. Like, that's it. Like, that Creole met that Negro, that's it. You can leave it there. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't have to use your platform for that. Lovecraft is good. It's worth the watch, Valerie. Beyonce needs to chill. Yes, I did just take a shot, and I had a snapshot. I did just take a snapshot. My friend is Ethiopian, and she was like, she feels Beyonce is pandering. I low-key think she should have stuck to her roots. I agree. Yeah, I did. I wrote DACS. I wrote Black American, descendant of American chattel slavery. And then I put in parentheses, BA-DACS. I sure did. I wrote it on there. The Socialist Federation of New Obsidian. That sounds like something from Star Trek. God damn it! I keep hitting the button. Oh no, I'm screenshotting, I am screenshotting some of y'all like your names because I want to remember them. Y'all know I screenshot all the time. And I screenshotted some of those books because somebody put a book on surveillance capitalism. I screenshotted that as well. When Beyonce figures it out, I'll be welcoming her back with open arms. Come back home, Beyonce. I might watch it, Jordan. The DC fandom thing on Saturday. I might watch it. I love Beyonce at a distance. I know. How are you doing, Vans? You doing good? People crave Beyonce's success, but they despise her for it at the same time. It's annoying. The census is important, especially for DACS. That's how most of us track our lineage. Hi, Popcorn. Unauthentic Beyonce flops hard every time. We're not human, but we breastfed your babies. Right. Thanks for reminding about the census. The Promise Republic. I kind of like that too. The Promise Republic. These are really interesting names. I've never thought about this before. Like, what would it be called? I think Beyonce's Africa-centric projects flopping. And it's just like, we don't want them. We don't want them. We don't like them. They seem weird. Like, I think Beyonce's African-centric projects flopping is a prime example of why black folks and our art forms should not intermingle. The authenticity disconnect is obvious. Thank you. Thank you, Vermilion Dynamo. That's what it is. It's an authenticity disconnect. When Beyonce, as a black American from Houston, tries to do all this Africa shit, it's not authentic. It's not her, and there's a disconnect, and you can tell. Just like when it's the reverse, and you have motherfucking Daniel Kaluuya playing Fred Hampton. Like, let's just not do none of it anymore. Like, we're not feeling it. It's whack. I feel the same way. I think since B-Day, she's been so open and comfortable, but the Black is King stuff does feel forced. All of the discourse is funny to see, though. Yeah. Hi, Justin. The Republic of Promises is interesting. Obsidian I like. But y'all know I screenshot like all the time because y'all say interesting things that I want to think about later. There is some blood and gore towards the end, but not... I wouldn't say most of it is bloody and gory. Could barely watch 5 minutes of Black is King. It felt hella corny. Whoops. Anyone who says Beyonce is appropriating African culture, I have no rebuttal to that argument. It's not my black American business. I'm doing all right, Vance. I didn't watch Black is King either. If you don't know Seren Screenshots, you are new to the chat. Right, like, they call me the human screenshot in real life. I have, like, friends and family members that call me a human screenshot. I screenshot everything. Y'all never seen that meme where it's like all these file cabinets, and on the front of the file cabinets is like Screenshots, April 2020, May 2020, June 2020, July 2020. And then the caption is like a person saying like, I didn't say that. And the other person being like, oh, you didn't say that? And then they're going through. That is me. I fucking screenshot everything, especially because motherfuckers will really lie on you later. And like, and you'd be like, no, like, no. Like, screenshot, date, bitch. This is what you motherfucking said. This is what was motherfucking said. What would the names be of, like, a black, I'm gonna say a black ethno-state, like, for black Americans only, Xavier? What would it be called? We were talking about what would it be called? I'm not listening to Black is King. It's not for me. Was wondering what you thought about Black is King. I talked about what I thought about Black is King in the Vicky Be Wicked Black Friday video. So, you should watch that as well. Right, like, who asked for Black is King? Nobody. It's not resonating with Black Americans. Like, it's not resonating with Black Americans, and Africans don't want it either. So what's the point of the project? I haven't had any desire to watch Black is King. Super uninterested. Love Beyonce, but still no. The Socialist Promised Republic of Obsidian put everyone's name ideas together. I honestly struggled to finish Black is King. Don't even remember anything from it, including the music. Thought I was the only one who hadn't watched Black is King yet. No, we don't support that over here. Like, that's not even what we about. Black is King just didn't hit like Lemonade. I'm annoyed some black YouTubers won't actually critique Black is King out of fear. Black is King wasn't hitting because there's no connection. Oh, you're saying like Beyonce doesn't have a connection to Africa. Right. She doesn't. We don't. There's no connection. We were captured, sold. That's it. Hi. I screenshot everything too. Most of my pics are screenshots. I have like 5,000 screenshots on my phone. I screenshot literally everything. I screenshot everything, and I have a folder on my phone called Sources where I like put it all. Because I want to remember, you know, where I got something. I'm always bookmarking stuff. That's why I be running out of space in the cloud. I screenshot everything. I think Beyonce's music for The Lion King, where she collaborated with African artists, was enough representation of the diaspora from her. We didn't need more. Everybody knows the current criticism of Black is King is from continental Africans. Haven't watched Black is King, but I'm Ethiopian and Ugandan. Not invested in gatekeeping African culture from Black Americans. We do all shine best, though, when we are in our own bag. Your storage can never, Janae. I got the big phone for that reason. Like the whatever it is, over 200 gig. Because I literally screenshot everything. Right? She should have left it at Lion King. Left it at that. The tip is to watch all his friends' videos. Things may come up that you might not expect. Oh, that's interesting, Vermilion Dynamo. These are really interesting ideas. I love, this is part of why I love our live streams, because, like, we chat and, you know, I encourage everyone to screenshot, like, screenshot the books, like, screenshot everything. Low battery. Low battery. All right, we got to finish. We got to finish. Old school Pan-African folks are with it. Right. And that's how I feel about Beyonce, too. I feel like she's an old school Pan-African, sort of, even though she's not old, but you know. Black is King is a spin on Lion King, same story, and the characters are human versions of the animals in Lion King. Damn, I didn't know Burna Boy shaded Beyonce after being on her album too. How lame. It feels like Beyonce is trying hard to prove she's black because people always come for her blackness. Africans tore her apart about it, and I don't care either. Nobody told her to do that. Yes. Hi, Girl Interrupted. Once those boats sailed, we were no longer the same culturally. Beyonce could have used this project to introduce new artists from America. They called it the door of no return for a reason. And many of us were also captured and sold off by Africans. I screenshot also, but 5,000, my brain couldn't keep track. Yeah. That's my problem. I always say I'm gonna go back in the comments and write down the references and then forget. Me too. That's why you got to screenshot at that moment, so that later on you can go through the screenshots and like see what was talked about. All the time after the live streams, I go through the screenshots because like a lot of the times like y'all suggest things that I've never heard of that I want to look up. That was how I heard of Joy DeGry. Like a subscriber was like, you know, a lot of the things you're talking about, like you might really enjoy Joy DeGry. And so I like looked her up and I like became obsessed. I like fell in love with her and her mind and her ideas. Like I'd be snap, snap. Nuggets here, nuggets there. The messed up part about it is that Beyonce specifically worked with creatives from their continent and she still was bashed. I screenshot these chats too. Because it's a lot of great minds. Beyonce made Africa look beautiful from the clips I saw. People are dumb. Burna is too prideful. My goodness. I wish you all well this Thursday. Y'all are amazing. Yeah. I think I'm getting to the end. Had to listen while you drove. Just got inside. Girl interrupted. I think I'm getting close to the end of the comments and then I'm going to go. Beyonce did everything properly and they're still mad. Beyonce should take notice that Homecoming had much more success than Black is King. I personally don't like African music, can't get with it. I respect the culture, but it's not mine. I'm good. I feel the same, lovely me. Burna Boy ain't even nobody. He's trying to shame Black Americans into liking him. He knows he needs us more than we need him. That part is interesting, too. People act like they hate Black Americans so much, which they do. But then they be like, Black Americans don't support any other fucking Black artists. They make it so hard for us to cross over into the American market. And we just be like, but you just said, but if you don't like, why do you need to be in the American market if... Okay. I use the screenshot expansion mode all the time. Yes, I am at the end. Hi, Valia. Oh, that's a good one, Ori. That's a good one, too. Disney only greenlit the project Black is King because it was telling a Black non-American story. Right. They probably would have never put Homecoming on there. Suck on my balls. They would have been like, whoa, it's a little too niggerish for us. Pass. The BA love hate is real. Hi, Kamisha. Their critiques of Black is King flipped once it came out. They were saying she was going to make them look like they're poor and live in mud huts. Then it turned into, why isn't she showing our poverty and what's real? Make it make sense. She literally showed both. They just don't like us, period. I've heard a lot of people saying they felt it was well-rounded. I haven't watched it. I'm so not interested. Your phone needs more storage, Domino? By any means necessary, you need to get on this screenshot wave. I'm good, Kamisha. It's hot. My phone is dying, and so I'm in soon. People want to mimic our Black American culture, take our Black American dollars, use our platforms, but don't want the Black American people. Disney loves Africa. They have so many documentaries. Pan-Africanism had a revival for like 6 months. Then there was a huge pushback from Africans. I feel like people forgot that. Disney's aesthetic is not Black American. Yes, taking so many notes and screenshots. Hi, Queen. Well, I literally just got to the end, and so we're done. I just got to the end of the chat, and my phone is dying, so I'll see you guys on Sunday. Sunday will be Bees Bake, Umbrella Academy. Saturday will be Lovecraft Country Review, Episode 1. You guys know I normally do not post videos on Saturday, but I did the Watchmen reviews on Saturday because these HBO shows come on Sunday. So, Lovecraft Country, episode 1 review will be up on Saturday. Thank you so much to everybody that's watched the USPS video as well. Still working on my video on digital surveillance and other videos as well. So, bye guys.